Hey, this is Kat from Red Mountain Shaman, and I share shamanic wisdom through dreams, visions, nature, synchronicities, intuition, channeling, art, music, photography, and shamanic journeys. Welcome back to my channel. So much has happened this week. I hope all of this does not come across as disjointed, but I'll do my best to condense my thoughts and my personal experiences. So in today's episode, I wanted to talk about an amazing cloud that formed while I was at the hot springs. Also, a journey into the Akashic records, and something I was shown about mass migration that is happening, and also a message for clarification from all of this from Moses. So first off, the cloud that formed above me looked like a Hopi kachina with large wings. It had a huge feather coming out of one hand and some sort of stick in the other hand. When I got home from the springs, I did some research on the closest looking kachina that I could find, and what I found was a drawing by Amy Turner called, and I'll probably mispronounce this, Sakwasoha, The Return of the Blue Star Kachina. And the description on her artwork reads, "In the Hopi tradition, when the blue star kachina makes its appearance in the heavens, the fifth world will emerge." And I'm almost wondering if the fifth world is also related to what the New Age talks about as moving into the fifth dimension. And then it says, "This will be the day of purification." The Hopi name for the star Sirius is Blue Star Kachina. It will come when the Blue Star Kachina comes back to dance in the plaza and removes his mask to usher in the period of purification. So seeing this very detailed kachina in the clouds to me is the same as it appearing in the sky as she says it would. I don't know if there's other people that will start seeing this or if like a real spiritual being would appear, but I thought that was a pretty detailed representation in the clouds of this kachina. So I find this very interesting and very timely. I looked up the Hopi meaning of the feather that this kachina was holding in his hand, and I learned that there is a Hopi prayer feather, and it's a symbol of trust, strength, wisdom, freedom, and honor. As I was researching the stick this kachina was holding in the other hand, I found several things that it could be. And if you come from the Hopi tribe and you have more information on this specific kachina stick, please share in the comments. But what I found is that different names for Native American sticks or staffs can go under the name prayer stick, medicine stick, or talking stick. And I actually felt guided to make my own talking stick years ago, and I decorated it with feathers, turquoise, and a crystal quartz on the end. These are often used by shamans and medicine people for communicating with the spiritual realms. I also found that the meaning of a staff in the Bible is a symbol of leadership. The Israelite tribes would align to their staffs, meaning their tribal sigils. Moses had a staff which he used to signal to the Israelites and perform miracles, as described in the Torah. Sometimes Native Americans can also call these ceremonial sticks spirit sticks, and they are often used for prayer, ritual, dancing, ceremony, and are related to the spiritual world. Often these sticks are decorated with feathers from birds of prey such as hawks, falcons, eagles, and owls, and can represent protection, strength, luck, victory, courage, and vigilance. This leads me to our journey into the Akashic records with my friend Michaela. We were taken to some Egyptian healing pools to release some old baggage and energy that we accumulated from the last month of August, which was super rough for both of us. I don't know if any of you experienced that, but whoa, it was a rough month. So while we were there, I saw towering statues and I heard the name Ra. And then we were given some sort of Egyptian activation, and I could feel my crown chakra really tingling. And then I was shown a huge, beautiful falcon. I learned that the falcon and hawk can represent links with royalty and protective powers in ancient Egypt. The falcon can also be associated with the sun god Horus, as well as the goddess Hathor, whom I personally believe to be another form of Mother Mary. So I wrote a song concerning all of this symbolism a couple years ago, and this was before I was even aware of all of the symbolism, and I named the song Red Sun, and I wanted to read the lyrics. So it's called Red Sun. Red sun, the spoke of fire, the flaming dawn. Red sun, the turn of life, the source of one. Red sun, the falcon flies into your arms. Red sun, under the smoke, under the gun. The running of the horses, their wild cries at night, the shaking of their heads, they are the medicine. The pounding of their hooves across the moonlit plains, the shaking of their heads, they are the medicine. Red sun, 8-pointed star around the dove. Red sun, have you no eyes, the serpent's tongue? Red sun, the sacred breath, the sacred lung. Red sun, angel of air, angel of love. The running of the horses, their wild cries at night, the shaking of their heads, they are the medicine. The pounding of their hooves across the moonlit plains, the shaking of their heads, they are the medicine. Red sun. So at the end of the song, I recite a passage from the Essene Gospels of Peace about the angel of air, and maybe I added this to the song intuitively because these birds are associated with the element of air in my eyes. If you want to hear this song, you can go to Bandcamp and type in Paladine, Palodine, to hear the song, and it's on our album called Feathers and Fur. I'll put a link down in the comments. The next thing I wanted to talk about is something that came through in a couple sessions with clients. One was the term time warp. And then another ancestral being I was channeling for a client was talking about the illusion of time and how time can seem to drag on or speed up, or what can seem like significant amounts of time has passed can actually compress in the blink of an eye. So I wanted to ask Moses about this. And then another thing I wanted to ask in today's channeled message is concerning a channeled message I received, I think it was last year, and it was a message about migration. When I first got this message, I immediately thought it was about animal migration, but now we are seeing some problems arising from mass migration of people not only in America but in other countries such as the UK that are now experiencing rioting and unrest due to the strain this is causing for the civilians. During a session this week, it came through that this migration issue has been ushered in on purpose. A few days after I got that message in that session, a video popped up on my feed with somebody, I think that was considered somebody working with the border issues. And this person was saying that DHS now has proof of this purposeful ushering in of mass migration. So that was a really quick confirmation of that message in that session this week. And I was hoping Moses might expound on that a little bit today. The next thing I wanted to share is a short shamanic journey in which I was in some sort of protective bubble, and I was able to float around as I saw chaos ensuing around me. But in this journey, I was not affected by the chaos because the bubble seemed to be shielding me. Then I saw a huge manatee circling around my bubble of protection. And it was like I was floating above the city and things were kind of exploding, burning down. But this spirit animal, I learned, represents kind of a lot of peaceful things like breathing, compassion, curiosity, generosity, peace, shape-shifting, spiritual love, tranquility, trust, water. Manatees can also represent the need to slow down and can be a compass back to our internal peace and harmony in a chaotic world. Manatees can also represent healing and sustaining ecosystems. The relationship between manatees and seagrass is one of intricate interdependence that spans generations. Seagrass meadows serve as a sanctuary for these gentle marine mammals, offering a vital source of sustenance and a haven for their existence. I was guided to work with the water grass agate crystal after this journey. The tranquil energy promotes inner peace and emotional stability, while its grounding abilities help you stay rooted in the present moment. This crystal enhances physical strength, balances positive and negative energies and emotions, assists you when you're working with universal energies and spirit guides, especially the water element and water spirits, and helps you to tap into your inner power, kind of like a river carving through a rock. The last thing I wanted to talk about is a doctor who came into my awareness this week, and her name is Dr. Casey Means, and she has basically left her profession as a surgeon and now teaches nutrition in order to keep people out of the hospital in the first place. I loved her story about how she saw the corruption around her in the medical industry after her spending an exorbitant amount of money and time in medical school. She decided to walk away from the system that she saw as broken and forge a new path for herself in order to better serve others. I highly recommend you check out some interviews with her. There's a great one with another holistic practitioner, and his name is Dr. Axe, and he helped me a lot when my own son years and years ago had his own vaccine injury. So her interview with Dr. Axe chronicles her journey. So it's Dr. Casey Means with Dr. Axe. So she also has her own YouTube channel, and it's called Levels, and she has great recipes and guidance on nutrition and explains the importance of stabilizing our blood sugar to reduce chronic diseases that are so rampant in our society today. And I think she's a really great example of someone who is kind of ahead of the curve on leaving behind these old broken systems to create new pathways and paradigms. In my opinion, this is how we will create the new earth. It's not just about fighting against old systems that aren't serving us, but it's about creating new ones. So when I reached out to see what spirit helper wanted to come through, as I mentioned, to expound on any of these topics, Moses is the being who stepped forward. And this is what I heard as I typed out his messages. I welcome your inquiries this day, and I come with my staff of protection, strength, guidance, and alchemic transformation. As you have seen me striking my staff to the earth, I am also showing you that indeed more shaking will ensue. And this shaking is to reset the old energy of earth back into harmony and balance. As you let go of these old beliefs, perceptions, paradigms, and systems, you will be able to move forward into new ways of being that will better serve humanity and Mother Earth. For as my people have prophesied, Earth has become sick and needs purification. The tribe of Judah, which you and many workers of the light are part of, are represented by the turquoise stone, and you have come through many incarnations as a tribal member of Judah. This is why you are still deeply connected to the blue stone of the breastplate of the high priests and priestesses. It is a stone of protection, peace, and courage. It is a stone of speaking with truth and authority. It is a stone of inner peace and shamanic wisdom. It is also a stone of ancient Egypt. The falcon and the hawk and the turquoise stones have traveled overseas and continue to be prominent symbols within the lost tribes of the Southwest. The rainbow tribe is now awakening, and all around the planet to their spiritual pursuits of bringing back peace, balance, and harmony, of bringing back heaven to earth, of finding interconnectedness with nature. Migration was once natural, and many peoples migrated to and fro upon the earth for many eons of time. But the current mass migration is indeed different. This situation, as you have been told, will be revealed even further as to who and why it is happening. This is to create division, fear, chaos, and internal struggle within the country and within oneself. Beings who are not in alignment with peace and prosperity are being purposefully moved from country to country in order to create distractions, poverty, control, and violence. When a person is not in abundance and in a sound spiritual mindset, it is easy for them to sink into activities and means of survival that would harm others and infringe on their rights, property, prosperity, and well-being. It created unrest and division, and this is what the powers that be intended. But do not sink into fear, as this will be resolved in time. Planet Earth is moving towards a golden age or a golden era. Many lifetimes of extreme duality and lessons are coming to a karmic reckoning and end. This is the purification we have been speaking of. Many changes are happening. Time is not what it seems. There will be what you have been told as time warps occurring within your Earth plane. These time warps can manifest as a sudden collapse in time, where one feels like a sort of wrinkle in time has occurred, to quote the famous book. A wrinkle in time can also be like time has been speeded up, slowed down, or even like time has been lost to you. And this is because time is actually an illusion as you know it on Earth. So, as you move into higher frequencies, this perception of time begins to morph and shift. You may eventually find yourself out of the confines of time. That part of humanity which is open will indeed find themselves easily crossing dimensions and time, thus creating what some would call a time warp. This is nothing to fear, but it is only a change in perception and experience as humanity continues to shift and evolve. You can indeed move forward in your bubble of peace and protection as you call in this divine protection through your intention. Some of you may wish to use ceremonial objects or rituals that include prayer, meditation, and ways of connecting to the divine spiritual realms that you feel called to, or that move your soul into action. Do what works for you and what calls from the heart. This is not a competition. Do not compare yourself to another. Look within yourself to bring forth your own manifestations of peace and connection to spirit. Your own soul knows the way, for there is a spark of the Creator within each one of you. Go within to begin to stir the passion of what you wish to co-create with that spark of divinity within you. You are powerful. You are creative. You are love. You are a generator of truth and light. You will contribute beauty to a fallen world. You will mend your old wounds. You will heal the earth, and you will be builders of a new earth. And so it is. I am Moses, he who walked the path of transformation, trust, and ultimate sovereignty, just as you will, my friends. And so it is. Thank you, Moses. So I asked him if he would pull a card that kind of goes along with today's message. And the deck he chose was the Gaia Oracle deck by Tony Carmine Salerno. And the card is number 32. And it's called Purification by Water, Emotional Cleansing, Rejuvenation. This card signifies healing and rejuvenation, which comes as a result of emotional cleansing. In the coming days, you may experience some emotional turmoil. Deep feelings that you thought you had already dealt with or previously resolved resurface seemingly out of nowhere. Do not be concerned, for a profound healing is taking place, and at the end of this process, you will feel all the better for it. The lady featured on this card emerges from the deep waters of her emotions into the light of a new day. Emotionally cleansed and rejuvenated, she is now ready to move fully into her power, free of the emotional baggage that she previously carried. And then the affirmation in the card is, I allow all unresolved feelings to surface. I give thanks for the healing that is taking place. I am emotionally cleansed. I am free of emotional baggage. I release all that no longer serves me. So that totally goes with the manatee that I saw and the purification by water. It just kind of all kind of goes together. I apologize for my voice today. We've got a ton of smoke in our valley from the California fires. So thank you for being here, everybody. And if you would like your own channeled message, energy healing, readings, and more, please go to redmountainshaman.com to check out my services list. And you can give me a call. As I said, I have no access to old messages. So if you've tried in the past to get a hold of me, my phone was out of commission for about a week. So please try again. And I'm sending you all love, and hopefully we can all continue to release this emotional baggage that he's talking about. I have definitely been releasing a lot in my own life, and this is all for our own good, so that we can get rid of this old karmic baggage, so that we can move into our power. Like it said, the water carving out the stone. That's how powerful we are. So we need to step into that power as we release this old stuff, so that we can start rebuilding the new. Sending you all love. Until next week, take care.